want to dance with somebody. I want to feel the heat with somebody. Yeah, I want to dance with somebody. Just not the Rebobs. How was that? Pretty good, right? Up top. I'm not going to high five you. You're going to high five me like a fucking psychopath. Jesus. Who high fives like this? What a psychopath. Starting off on a high note. Welcome to Haunts, Graves, and Omens.
Your hand was like that, and I didn't want to. It was a lot of effort.
Use your other hand. What are you talking about?
No, it was a lot of effort.
I would go as far as to say it was less effort.
The doing that? No.
You're going like,
over.
and you fucking twist your fucking arm.
I didn't do it like that. I just held my arm up.
No, you did it like a weirdo.
No, because it's the only way I can hold my arm. I can't hold it any other way.
My name is Fred Stewart. With me, not as always, because sometimes he's a psychopath, is my lovely co-host.
Hi, it's me.
Who fucking high fives like that? You clearly see I'm going for a high five, right? I'm like, high five, dab me up. No, absolutely not. You can take your other fucking left hand and you high five me. You reach over, like,
No.
Hold your left hand out like you would high five me. Dude, did you fucking just look at your hands to find out which one was the correct one?
I don't know my lefts and rights often.
What are you talking about?
Sometimes you gotta double check.
No. No, you don't.
Yeah.
Hey, no, that's not how. No.
Yeah.
That's like that's like before you know how to fucking read shit. What do you mean you don't know your left from your right
Sometimes you
often?
gotta think about it for a second.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely yes.
Look left. Okay. Great. Wasn't that fucking hard, was it?
You gotta think about it for a second.
No.
Yes.
No. Absolutely not. Absolutely.
Listen.
I'm listening.
It takes my brain a second to process things. So I just have to like...
That's fine. If you have a processing issue, that's different. But versus me going high five me with I go high five me with your left hand. You guys couldn't see because our hands were below the table. I go high five me with your left hand. I swear to God, she fucking goes and looks at both of her hands to figure out which one was correct.
Listen,
there's absolutely no way that are you fucking with me? Is this a bit? I'm guessing by your laughter, it's not a bit. No
I'm
way.
really fucking tired. I'm just vibing right now. I'm just living.
Okay.
Trying my best. But honestly, I'm not doing very well on the whole living aspect. I'm just here.
That's great, champ. I'm so proud of you. You know, we had to restart this episode because we had our air system's very loud in here.
Yeah.
And I'm really glad we did. Because I got to experience whatever the fuck that was. So that's cool. I have some true crime news to talk about real quick. Tay, what's my favorite thing in the world? Well, one of my favorite things in the world.
Chocolate milk.
Again, when I asked you this earlier when we first tried this recording, yes. I like chocolate milk more than I like Killdozer. I'd go as far as to say that. But it was a 20 years of Killdozer. 20 years ago, Marvin Heemeyer destroyed the town of Granby, Colorado with this infamous Killdozer. You know, sometimes a reasonable man is driven to do unreasonable things and then blow his brains out inside of an armored bulldozer. Now, it happens. I get it.
It happens.
You know? It's a bit of a whoopsie-daisy moment.
I don't think
that took months and months and hundreds of thousands of dollars to plan.
You say it was a whoopsie daisy moment, like just spur of the moment. He's like, you know what I want to do today?
You know what sounds like a
This sounds crazy, but this sounds really good to me. Listen.
Oh yeah. Think it's gonna fucking froyo. He's like, I was a bit naughty today, and they're like, oh, Marv, what'd you do? And he's like, I built an armored bulldozer. I'm going on a fucking rampage. Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, your total is $5.68 for the weight of your froyo.
I'm coming first place. I'm coming is here. in the town of Granby, Colorado, the only thing that was spared was the froyo shop.
You made a good choice.
Yeah.
You know what? You can have your froyo for free today. I think that sounds
Same kind of energy of like, don't come to work, don't come to school tomorrow. Same energy. But yeah, 20 years of Killdozer, man. Fucking pretty wild.
It's pretty
20
wild.
years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And honestly, I think if I'm not saying someone should go do it again, I think it's a bit of naughty. All right? I'm gonna go on a limb and say Marv was a bit of a fucking, a little bit crazy. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay? I'm gonna go on a limb.
Yeah.
Say Marv had some issues going on.
Maybe.
All right? Let's relax on it.
Okay. Probably, yeah.
But
There should not be a but in that sentence.
if someone was gonna do a Killdozer again, hear me out. You and 3 buddies, you get bobcats, those little those little ones, little bulldozers, right? Armor plate those, you attack in a group. A lot faster.
Or you could just have 4 Komatsu bulldozers in a group.
Oh my god, now what she's thinking, dude. I'm gonna marry this woman. Now,
You're gonna marry me for that, but then also you have to realize sometimes I don't know my lefts from my rights. So you gotta pick and choose here.
willing to give me ideas about domestic terrorism as a bit in Minecraft, and doesn't let her left from her right. That's fantastic. Another piece of true crime news: Chad Daybell from, I believe, the Nexium called him and Lori Vallow. I was telling you about them earlier.
Yeah.
He was indicted by grand jury and or not indicted, but he was sentenced to death. So he's going to death row. So here in 20, 30 years, he'll die of natural causes. Like every other fucking death row inmate. It's insane. Who knows? But yeah, he's speaking of being on death row and being dead, technically. We talked about last week, Robert Pickton, and how he was stabbed in the face with a broom.
Yes.
Yeah, he got stabbed in the neck. The guy ran and hid, found a broom, snapped it, came back, and stabbed him through the face with a broom.
Huh?
Now, dear listeners, if you haven't heard, I'm going to be the first to break it to you. Okay? Robert Pickton is fucking dead. Woo! He's dead. He is super dead. He's going to be fucking worm food.
Huh.
Those poor worms. But yeah, Robert Pickton's dead, man.
That's crazy.
Good.
Honestly, yeah.
They should have killed him earlier. I wish so. I'm going to limb. I wish someone would have stabbed him earlier.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the guy who killed. It's like I told you about the guy who stabbed Pickton, right?
Yeah.
And how he was like, I was taking an evil man off the streets that was going to harm other people. Meanwhile, they were like, the prison was like, oh, actually, he has a known history of just randomly attacking inmates. So it just so happens that he fucking attacked a 70-year-old dude and fucking just brutally murdered it. It happened to be Robert Pickton. I don't think it was on purpose. But he had a cool name. His name was like Spike or some shit like that, which is really cool.
Yeah.
That's a cool prison name. Better than Jeff. That's Prison Jeff over there. Do you have any true crime news?
I haven't pulled any up, but I told you about this the other day, but just a couple weeks ago.
Oh yeah, this is fucking. So, is this what I'm thinking of about the indictment?
Yes.
So, a while back, I'll let you tell it.
Yeah. So
I'll let you tell it.
A while back, we kind of talked about someone who was a friend who was murdered in the killings last year that happened. Yeah, right.
The serial killings that happened last year. Here in Portland.
That started in late November, ended in April-ish. Jesse Lee Calhoun, the man, has been indicted on 3 of 4 counts.
Of first degree, I imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And is back in prison. He got it revoked.
Well, yeah, obviously.
When he became
a serial killer?
A suspect. They
put
him back.
Really? When he became a suspect, they fucking yanked him, huh?
So
they didn't even let him even think about it for a second.
No, during COVID, they had let him out because he had done some service work. He'd done like
It's insane.
community service, and when he became a suspect for these murders, our governor was like, "You're going back."
The one
Back in there.
the one time our governor actually did something worthwhile.
The 4 counts that he was being tried with, one was Kristen.
Yeah.
That one ended up not being one that he was indicted on, but they're still investigating. There's still another. He's connected with 5 total.
Yeah.
They're still getting information and still investigating with Kristen's, and then the Ashley Reel, I believe it's the other one that they have not charged him with yet. But they're going to, it seems like, retry for Kristen's and for Ashley as well.
Yeah.
To put more charges on him, so he's never fucking leaving prison.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we talked. We didn't when that happened. We briefly kind of brought it up and talked about it, and set the put the GoFundMe's and everything, and everyone who supported is fantastic for that.
Which I think that there might be another GoFundMe. There's, with the investigations happening, things are not being handled very well.
Yeah.
The property where Kristen was found is a school district, and they are actually trying to demo the area. Now that there's been a conviction. However, there's still plenty of evidence there. So she's like trying to get lawyer fees saved up and everything too. So I can send you the link.
Yeah,
so we can put that in the
please go
bio.
go check out the description for that. We're gonna have that up. This will be the one time that I actually say this without half-heartedly joking. Is good job to the law enforcement who worked on this case and helped bring closure to a lot of these families and capture this fucking guy.
Yeah.
Because I remember the day we were like, oh, she went missing.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, that's pretty weird. And then she was later found, and then we're like, I bet these, and then all of a sudden it just fucking snowballs, and it's it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it just continues.
Yeah.
And then we're in the grips and the fucking blanket of a serial killer. I was having you carry a fucking weapons. You still carry weapons, like I was carrying weapons, like just because we didn't know what was happening out there. And I do mean this wholeheartedly, to all the agencies that worked on that. You guys are fucking legends, and you guys deserve everything that, for that, because that's incredible. That's some actual top-notch police work.
Yeah, I'm glad that at least some of the families have at least some full closure, and then ideally the 2 remaining families will have.
I have no doubt that they've gotten this far, that they'll continue.
Yeah.
But in any case, at least they have the guy in custody. That fucker's indicted, and he's gonna have a real interesting time, and I assume in the Oregon State Penitentiary.
Yeah.
So
I assume so.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the only true crime news that I have.
Now I gotta make a call up to Canada. I gotta call Spike, see if they can send him down to Oregon, right?
just for a little field trip.
We need you for a job. And then he's like, I'm just saying, hear me out.
Not gonna say that Jesse does not deserve it.
Fuck you, Jesse Calhoun. Now, Tay.
Yes.
Let's bring it back. Let's bring the energy back up. All right. We're talking about Rebobs?
We're talking about Napa Rebobs.
Napa Rebobs. Okay.
Have you ever heard of this?
No. When you said you're like, do you want to cover this thing or Rebobs? And I was like, huh? And you're like, yeah, Rebobs. And I was like, first of all, dude, fuck you. Don't call me that. That's fucked up. Don't say that to me. Rebobed. I don't care. You guys can get fucking mad at me. But no, I've never heard of this.
Okay. Well, I think this is pretty fucking weird. So I guess, are you ready to start talking about Rebobs?
Oh, baby. I'm ready to get into it.
The Nappy Valley. Nappy Valley.
The Nappy Valley of Rebobs. I'm also just not. I fucking adjusted this camera like 15 times. Look how, like, this is my mannequin. I'm not even focused, man. What's even happening today?
Well, that's fitting for a mannequin. Honestly. Yeah. So, I mean, California in general has like a ton of just cryptids and weird shit happening all the time. I mean, it's where the Patterson-Gimli film is from.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty cool. Or Gimlin, sorry. I don't know anything.
You do truly don't know anything. You had to look at your hands to find out what was left and what was right.
That's left.
You sure?
Yeah.
You want to double check real quick?
No. Good.
All right.
So,
Shit. Wrong camera.
Ooh. So, I mean, like, it's not surprising that there are a plethora of cryptids that live there, you know? There's a
Yeah,
lot there.
I mean, you gotta think about California as a whole.
It's huge.
It's huge, and then there's it's so diverse. You have the ocean right there, and then you have the desert that kind of goes into the forest, that goes into like the sagebrush kind of desert, and that goes into like the red kind of clay kind of. It's very diverse all
There's
around.
so many different areas.
You know, it's not like New Jersey, you know, where it's like there's a deli and a devil. That's it. You know.
I feel like you
There's the
could've-
Pine Barrens, and then there's the fucking river to go to New York. That's it. That's the entire state.
I figured that you were gonna cover some like a state that is like not known for a whole lot versus like Jersey.
Like Pennsylvania.
I was thinking like Kansas, Iowa.
Which one of those had the Field of Dreams in? Was that the Kansas? Dog just sneeze on you.
No, my feet are up here. She sneezed and hit her head on the desk.
That's awesome. Now, I mean, listen, California's big, is what we're trying to say, obviously.
Yeah.
So, but continue, please.
So this creature is fucking weird. The kind of vibe is like Maryland goat man, Pope-like monster, sheep man, kind of myriad.
So, goat-esque?
No, but the vibes are
Oh, the vibes are similar,
Yeah.
where it's almost satanic, but not?
kind of.
Hell yeah. Okay.
Except the way this creature looks is gonna throw you for a fucking loop
I'm ready to
when we get there.
Oh, I'm ready to get thrown for a loop.
All right, because you have no fucking clue what's happening. So
I usually have no idea what's happening ever.
that's me. I don't have any clue what's happening ever.
I'm fucking stupid.
I'm the dumb one.
I forgot to set up your mannequin.
So this creature is primate.
You've got my attention.
So like, let me find you a photo here. They're like,
These photos will be up on our Instagram as well.
okay.
I don't want to say anything until we get to that point where you start describing it, but if fucking excuse me, I'm gonna do my best to describe to you what Taylor just showed me without describing it to you, so we don't ruin the story.
Yeah.
But show me that photo again real quick if you can. Okay. It looks like if this cryptic could talk, it'd be like, we have to destroy the fusion core in order to destroy the entire planet. It's very. I'll put a photo up on screen when we get to it. But what the fuck, man?
Yeah, they're like winged.
Well, hey, don't relax, man. We'll get to it. All right, you got to read.
So, these creatures allegedly reside in a particular section of Napa Valley known as Patrick Road. However, some sources do misname the road, Patrick Road. The creatures allegedly have been in the Napa Valley area since at least the 50s or 60s. But there's not really any mention of the creatures officially prior to 2008. So keep that in mind.
Okay.
So the belief is that these creatures are created by a scientist working for the government or for his own scientific curiosity. Just created these creatures.
That'd be me. You know? I have reversed engineered a platypus to its two original creatures.
A duck and a beaver.
Fuck. I'm ruined. Ruined forever. No. Definitely not.
No? Are you sure?
It's a fucking... never mind.
A bucket of beaver?
Yeah, it's a bucket of deaver.
Is that what you were thinking?
I don't want to talk about it, dude. This is a dumb bit, dude.
So there's a lot of reasons why that kind of endeavor was pursued. One rumor was that the scientist during World War II was working on a super soldier created by using a human-monkey hybrid, not unlike the alleged Stalin ape man project in Russia.
I got questions. Huh? It looks like I got something to fucking research. And it's going to be really great when I have to go research the Stalin ape man project. And it's going to be one of those websites. You know exactly what kind of websites I'm talking about. Where it's black background but green lettering. You know?
Yeah.
Where
it's like the most obnoxious color.
It's got like red highlights around it.
Yeah.
And it's like, Joseph Stalin was actually breeding chimpanzees and humans together. And then you're like, you just can barely fucking read it because it's so hard to read.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
we use a font to hide the government. Meanwhile, the government's like, we don't give a fuck. No one's gonna believe you. We're feeding LSD to college kids. We're doing MK Ultra again.
Again.
It was funny the first time.
So
other than that whole, Charles Manson incident.
So the result was the Rebobs, which, much like every sci-fi horror monster made in a lab, managed to escape into the surrounding woodlands. That's how it always goes. Where they in turn reproduce, resulting in the current scourge that Patrick Road now has. So, of course they got out. That is always how it happens, right?
Now, how do you think the Rebobs escaped containment?
Mind control.
Mind control?
They just said,
whoa.
Let me out. He was like,
that's not mind control. That's just talking.
he was like, you're going to let me out? And he was like, I guess I'm going to let him
You're saying the Rebobs Jedi mind tricked a guard in order to let him out?
Listen, I don't know.
You didn't think there was like a cool action sequence where he was like, oh God, I seem to have fainted in my cell.
This is not the Rebob you're looking for.
This is not the Rebob you're looking for. Versus like the guard walks by and he takes like a fucking coat hanger that he stole in, dude, like brought in and gets his keys unlocked, nothing cool like that.
No, I think
and there's cool music in the background like dun 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 dun.
I don't
and
think
he's
so.
No?
I don't think so. I think he just.
Or do you think that guy, that
Maybe.
scientist was like, he was like, look, I got a hot female scientist coming over. I gotta get rid of these fucking things. And she's like, I hope you have Rebobs here. I love Rebobs. And he's like, fuck, I'll never find love.
He's like, I have a really fun date planned. It's called We're Gonna Go Find the Rebob that I released earlier. What do you think?
And that's the story of Mothman. Let's go drive up near their TNT plant and see if we can find the Rebob. And Instead, they found something else. Something darker, sinister. Had no arms.
B-Robs.
Are you regressing in smartness? We've been doing this show for like 3 years. The jokes get dumber. You forget what your left and rights are.
That's not a new issue.
Checks out.
I'm having
It's insane to me. You do not know your left from your rights very well, but then I can ask you a vague question about a dog that I saw, and you're like, oh yeah, that's going to be an Australian Swedish Valhound Corgi mix.
You actually did get an actual full breed in there. Swedish Valhound is an actual breed.
Just proving me more correct.
I know you were just trying to mishmash, but you actually put like an actual breed in there.
It's almost like I did that on purpose to see if she would catch it. Yes!
Do you know that I want a Valhound?
Yes. Are you stimming right now, dude?
Yeah.
Can we talk about this fucking ape monster?
You brought up dogs, so.
This is kind of like a dog, except it's not at all.
So, in a more classic horror take on the aspect of the legend, the government chose Patrick Road for the local cemetery to use the bodies in their research. While humans and primates can, like, interbreed, resulting in infertile offspring, there have been documented experimentation between the two. I have a lot of questions.
Okay.
What the fuck is my first one.
Yeah, I mean, how you get a... I hope that when they were doing that program, that they were like, they get this sperm and then they kind of just, inseminate a chimpanzee versus like, Alexander, come here. Are you feeling brave today? That chimpanzee is either going to rip your fucking arms off and then beat you with them, or you're going to have the grossest sex of your life. It's like anything for country.
I don't know, man.
Alexander did not survive.
I have so many fucking questions. Mainly just what the fuck.
My first statement regarding that is fucking ew, dude. What?
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. It's fucking weird, right? We're diving into some weird shit. We usually do, but...
Well, yeah, like the first, the first guy that, like, thought of that. He was like, I wonder if chimpanzees and humans could have offspring. He's like, fucking gross. I hope he wasn't like, fuck yeah. I hope he wasn't, like, super stoked about it. I hope he went home and, like, took a long shower and was like, so fucking gross. And then...
That was a gross thought.
30 years later in Russia, and they're like, I want you to fuck this chimpanzee. We went to U.S. and we got the hillbilly from southern Louisiana to come out. Yeah, basically the first hard edge, you just got to get in there and start doing it. Otherwise, the chimpanzee knows. And if you show fear, it'll know.
So...
Fucking ew, dude. I don't want to think about this anymore.
So, I mean, and, like, if that occurred, it doesn't really explain the Rebobs, because in almost all the sightings of Rebobs, they are winged creatures. So,
yes.
Where the fuck did those come from?
Well, it's when the Rebobs were originally created. They went out and they were bred with the most useless animal of all time. Pigeons.
Do not get me fucking started on pigeons. We're not starting this right now. No.
I am going to put a poll out on our Instagram. After this, when this episode airs, go over there and watch, or go in there and look in the story. It's going to be about pigeons. I want you to answer truthfully. All right?
We did pigeons so fucking dirty.
They're a dumb bird. They're dumb.
We did that to them. It's not their fault.
We should just get rid of them. We don't need them. We don't need them.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No. We're not having this conversation right now. This is H.G.O. This isn't Beyond. This is not. We haven't even done that yet.
Yeah, H.G.O. Beyond. Yeah.
It's not that. We just. I'm going back to the story because I'm going to go off on you about pigeons again. And you're going to be so upset.
Shit, dude. We might have to film fucking Beyond the fucking Omens today, dude.
Okay. Anyways. Another alleged origin featuring a mad scientist claims that a scientist was sewing on bat wings to monkeys, and somehow managing, much like what happened to Dr. Carl Hill's head and Bride of Reanimator, to give them the ability of flight. Now, apparently, the experiments this scientist was working on were extremely successful until his eventual death. The human-made flying monkeys had somehow managed to make their way into the woods where they managed to have rebobs. That's the other rumor.
That's a fucking dumb theory.
I like it more than the other one.
Where they were sewing bat wings on the creatures?
No, I'd rather them do that than chimpanzee or chimpanzee like human hybrids. I'll take the bat wings being sewn onto a.
Now, hear me out.
Okay.
If a human and a chimpanzee have offspring, are you able to claim that as a dependent on your taxes?
Probably. My guess.
Yeah. They're like, hi, we're the U.S. Census Bureau. We're here to see. You said you have a son. It's like, oh yeah, and he's like, hey boy, come on, get on in here. And he's like, fucking like crawling, like fucking eyes on the cheek, dude, like crawling, like super fucked up. Nah, he's just a sweetheart. He bites, so you should, if you have any sharp objects in your pockets, I recommend you start pointing them at him. Because he will. And I mean this wholeheartedly. He will fucking kill you.
He also really fucking hates shoes, so make sure you don't have shoes on.
Oh, look, my dachshund. My little dachshund hated shoes. Yeah. I think it's because he was so short and he was like the size of a shoe. And he was like, I hate them. That was his Granby, Colorado.
With shoes?
Yeah.
Spirit's Granby, Colorado is garbage cans.
Yeah.
Honestly. She wants to make a killdozer to get rid of every single fucking garbage can in this
Sometimes a reasonable dog is driven to do unreasonable things.
Dude, I don't know why or how, but worst thing she's ever encountered.
Maybe garbage cans remind her of Vietnam. We're getting off topic. Let's get back into it.
Again, we're falling apart right at the seams. Hello? Please, friend. I want my stuff to work.
She'll get her stuff to work, and I'll get back in a frame.
Okay. So the creatures got loose. They made more of them. They say that that is biologically impossible to happen, by the way.
That they can make more, or that they can be made?
All of it.
It's biologically impossible for a chimpanzee and a human to have offspring, and for those offspring to have wings.
Yeah. Someone had to be like, no, that can't happen. This idea predates Darwinian concepts of evolution and is something that zoologist Lamarck had theorized. The idea, for the most part, has been disproved after an experiment conducted by a Weissman, a biologist,
a clown, a taxi driver, and a pilot.
So, a Weissman conducted a rather cruel experiment based on Lamarck's concepts of evolution to see if they were valid. In the experiment, he removed the tails of 5 generations of mice and recorded the offspring's tail length. In the experiment, he found that the tail length of all the mice offspring was not shortened in any way, indicating the lack of biological change that Lamarck had hypothesized. So using the same logic with Rebobs, this could not be the possible origin of the creatures unless scientists found some way to genetically alter the DNA of the primates so that their offspring would have the capability of flight, but that's pretty unfucking likely.
Now, chimpanzees by themselves, horrifying.
Yeah.
They're jacked, they're dumb, but they're smart.
Yeah.
You know? They have big teeth, they're fast. Fucking rip your arms off and then beat you with them.
You think they'd be faster with wings?
Yeah. Think about how horrifying, especially if they're like proportional, you know?
Yeah.
So you're just like, well, the ancient Amazon looking for the flying chimpanzee. And like 40 fucking flying chimpanzees attack your car, dude. You're dead, dude. That's it.
No.
Game over.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't fucking know, man. Yeah, so there's a ton of different legends stating that the same scientists managed to cross monkeys and bats together, resulting in the winged offspring. As with other variants in the legend, the scientist either is killed by the creation, or the creation escapes into the woods pre or post death of the creator. That's how every fucking cryptid story goes. They're like, a scientist created this thing and then it fucking deleted the creator.
Well, except for like the Jersey Devil, where it was like, I am having my 13th child. I hope this thing is a devil. And then she births this beautiful baby boy, and then it turns into a tiny horse creature and flies up the chimney.
Well, we got the bat squatch. The bat squatch is supposed to be a creature that killed its creator as well.
I think the bat squatch is just another alien.
Yeah.
Much like Sasquatch. Sasquatch is an alien.
Yeah. I mean, we have covered this in our previous episodes about bat squatch and about Sasquatch. Probably not actual, like, quote unquote cryptid.
No, they're probably more extraterrestrial than they are cryptid.
Yeah. We'll see how you feel about Rebobs and what you think
All right.
they fall under. So I mean, all of the stories basically revolve around a creature being made by a mad scientist and escaping.
Yeah.
That's pretty much all of them. Another legend of creation with these beasts is something that kind of seems like pulled out of the pages of a comic book, as they claim that the creatures are in fact not just half monkey, half bat or bird, but also half robot.
Oh, dude. Hell yeah.
They say that the cyborg beasts were the result of once more another mad scientist who created for them for the government or for their own purpose. And during either an uprising of his creation or his death, the creatures managed to escape, making their way into the woods, finding themselves on Patrick Road. Who knows? I don't know. What do you think so far? How do you think they were created?
I don't know. I don't know yet. I don't know enough information to even judge. But is this Krusty Krab Road?
No. This is Patrick.
That was great timing.
I also had to like fight a sneeze at the same time. That's why it took me so
It was very soap opera. We were like is this Krusty Krab? He was like, no.
This is Patrick.
This is Patrick. You know?
It's because I was about to sneeze and I didn't know what was happening for a second. I'm like,
yeah, I don't have enough information on these things to think one way or another.
all right. So there's a lot of different ones, but the most plausible answer, most skeptical, comes from the Napa Valley Register. The Register, while often writing tongue firmly in cheek on the Rebobs, stated that the scientist element clearly came from the influence of classic B films of the 50s and 60s, which is about the same time that this legend is said to have been created. There's, however, a lot of eyewitness accounts and potential evidence. So maybe the Napa Valley, I'm going to keep doing that. Napa Valley Register is wrong. Maybe wrong.
Well, I guess we'll see.
We'll see. The first alleged sighting of this creature describes that in the 50s or 60s, a motorist driving through an area had caught sight of a 9-foot-tall, hairy, ape-like creature in the area. It was after this initial sighting that the Rebob encounters truly began to take shape. And while this sighting report is ambiguous, to say the least, as the years progressed, other sightings of more definition would come and take shape. So, legends about the reported behavior of monstrous Rebobs flittered about being the topic of many hallway conversations. The area became one of many lovers' lanes because of this, as would-be lovers would park up there to get a little closer from fright or in romantic bliss. It's typical lovers' lane stuff.
Yeah, and it's, at least it has a like Patrick Lane, right?
Yeah.
At least it's not called like Crooked Axe Murderer Drive,
Yeah.
Hey, you want to go cruise up? You're gonna get murdered, then the murderer is gonna cut my face off and wear his face as my face and go home to my family and pretend to be me for the next 20 years. Road.
Yeah.
It's a very long name.
I think I'll pass.
Why? Are you scared of the axe murderer that's going to cut off my face and wear my...
Yeah.
Oh.
I am, actually.
But classic story so far.
Yeah. So it's said that the Rebobs would come out of the trees and attack the cars of whoever would dare to enter their domain and park there. The creature's reason for attacking is apparently due to an ever-growing taste for human flesh. Typical primate things.
Typical cryptid propaganda, okay? Not all fucking cryptids want to rip off your flesh and eat it, okay? Just most of them do.
A lot of them.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
I mean, how many cryptids? How many people have cryptids kill a year? It's got to be pretty low.
I mean,
I bet cows kill more people a year than cryptids.
cows
When was the
kill-
last time you heard of a Wendigo attack, huh?
I mean,
See?
not that long ago.
What the fuck? What? What do you mean not that long ago? What does that mean? Are you a Wendigo?
No.
The fact you have to think about it makes me feel uncomfortable. Don't fucking touch me. Now, I do not. Don't fucking squeeze my titty, dude. Get out of here, dude. Read your story.
You were gonna say something?
I forgot. I started thinking about how now my fucking soon-to-be wife is a fucking Wendigo, dude.
So
That's why you want me to build a killdozer.
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
So an area that the Rebobs frequent most often is the private cemetery found on Patrick Road. Cemetery is said to be a favorite haunt.
Great ones.
It has since been claimed that any who wander into the cemetery late at night will find the Rebobs sitting in the trees waiting to pounce and feast on the flesh of anyone who entered their lair.
And then he always makes the same noise every time they enter his lair. He goes,
Great.
it's like Marty's still here with us. Not dead, just dead to me. No, I mean,
You see him every day at work.
he's dead to me.
Sorry, Marty. I tried.
Your titty didn't do anything.
I tried. Another area not far from the cemetery is Patrick Mansion, which has a similar story connected to it. Patrick Cemetery and Mansion are connected to, can you guess which family?
Star?
No, the Patrick family.
Oh. It's not nearly as funny.
I know. Which, can you guess, is where the name of the road comes from.
What?
Yeah.
A road named after our family? When did they start doing that? Cat's me on.
He's answering your question.
I don't speak idiot. That's a lie. I do speak idiot.
You talk to me all the time.
I can barely understand you.
So the Patricks and the Rebobs have always kind of been connected, but there's never really been an explanation as to why. The area of Patrick Road is, if the legend is to be believed, is correct in that it not only takes place where these creatures have ventured, they're kind of like, you know, Roald Dahl's BFG. The flying monkeys are kind of like similar, reminiscent in a sense where they would fly through open windows and kidnap children for various reasons.
Okay.
So, like, there's that.
Now, great.
The Rebobs are coming in, taking your kids, if your windows are open. So don't leave your windows open. Your kids are safe. Boom. You're good.
Yeah. Now, little Timmy, make sure you lock the door. Don't answer, even if it's a horrifying, gigantic chimpanzee with wings who wants to steal you, okay?
Okay.
It's me, a gigantic, horrifying chimpanzee with wings. I need you to open your door.
My mom told me not to.
Open the door.
Open the door or I'm going to throw rocks through your window.
You dumb bitch.
So the creature's main reason for taking the children is often described mostly for the consuming, but other stories simply describe them just dismembering children and leaving them in the woods as macabre decorations or grotesque variations to keep the children as slaves, but for what reason is never really described. So they don't really know what these Rebobs are doing with these kids, but not good nonetheless.
No, not good at all.
All of it's pretty bad. These creatures are also claimed to have an intense hatred for cats. Bruiser. We're keeping you out of Napa Valley. Apparently they would take pleasure in stealing cats, and also using those as macabre decorations and like skinning them.
So they're hyper intelligent.
Yeah, these are pretty fucking spooky.
Yeah.
So while this behavior was most certainly to scare off children and keep teens out of dark places, it seemed to have worked on the Rebobs too, for sightings of them in the 70s seemed to dwindle. In the place of the allegedly authentic encounters, there was instead a horde of hoaxed encounters of though some were of a hysterical nature, such as the use of pigeons with gorilla masks.
I'm sorry, you said pigeons with gorilla masks.
Yeah, that's what it says.
Okay. How many?
I don't know if pigeons is a term for something.
No, they probably mean birds. The useless, dumb fucking birds.
We're not having this conversation right now.
Oh, yeah, we're not, because I'm right.
No, you're not. You're wrong.
Pigeons are dumb.
We treated them so badly.
And I'm off frame. Back in frame. They could look like a little clown nose. A honka honka.
I don't know. They put pigeons in gorilla masks. It's really not hard. Listen, I've told you this before. It's really not hard to capture a pigeon because they are all domesticated.
Oh.
No. They're just feral, but they're all domesticated. You can just catch a pigeon. Just have it. So it's really not that hard to imagine that kids were like, I'm going to take a pigeon and put a gorilla mask on it and send it back out. Little itty bitty tiny gorilla masks.
Tay, I got a question for you. Because we share an Amazon together. I saw that you ordered 45 tiny gorilla masks. Is this fucking you doing this shit?
No. I might have gotten some inspiration. But I didn't do this.
I don't believe you.
You don't have to. So other people would simply just jump out at those in cars in some sort of disguise or another. This lack of seriousness for the phenomenon would lead to the creatures not being written about until at least 2008, where a group known as the Napa Rebob trackers just appeared on Facebook.
Count me fucking in. I'm joining that Facebook group immediately.
Do it. I looked them up earlier.
And?
They're just kind of talking about them. I mean...
Have they found anything yet?
I didn't get that far into it. So. Probably.
Is there an AI-generated photo of Donald Trump shooting a Rebob?
No.
With him holding an American flag?
No. Sounds like something you need to make.
Be like, is this photo real?
God bless.
Gobless.
So the group was several locals and other individuals who were captured by the legend of the Rebobs. Offer a interesting patina to the tale. With this group, we can confirm that it's indeed some of the locals had been aware of, but not something generated specifically by some creative person on the internet. So, like, it didn't first, like, the story didn't just pop up on the internet. The Facebook group did, but the story has been told in Napa.
Many a times.
Yes.
Okay.
So... many of the people on there tell second or third hand tales or stories that their parents told them. But it also has some first hand accounts. Just a few.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like dying over here. I'm still kind of sick, so.
Great.
I'm doing great.
You're doing great.
I'm doing great. So one witness posted in 2010 that, at one point while out driving Patrick Road, he had something large hit the roof of his car, thinking it was a pine cone.
Yeah.
This large thing hit the top of my car, and I thought it was just a 15-pound pine cone.
Well, that's what's known up here in Napa, California. Are these 45-pound pine cones that come down and destroy fucking cars, killing hundreds of thousands of motorists a year.
It's like, I just thought it was something, I don't know.
So
I thought it was a pine cone.
So he thinks it's a pine cone.
Or some kind of natural debris. He moved on and didn't think anything of it until he got out of his car, where he found 3 distinctive claw marks, each an inch apart on the roof of his car.
Okay.
As well as an area that appeared that something had pushed in the roof of the car.
Now, hear me out.
I don't think it was a pine cone.
Raccoon.
With flashlights taped to the side of his head?
Well, you know, maybe, perhaps.
Maybe not red flashlights, but like...
Regular flashlights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
He was just trying to do something up in the trees, couldn't see, and he fell. Luckily, a speeding car passed by.
And he just grabbed on.
Yeah. Saved his own life.
Yeah. Honestly, that sounds pretty valid. It sounds like something that could plausibly happen.
So basically, something lands on top of this guy's car, and now there's scratches, and he's like, "It's a Rebob."
Yeah, I mean, what else can you think of that sounds very large, hits your car, dents the roof, and has like claw marks, like it was holding
mountain
on?
lion, a bear, bobcat.
I don't think he was driving through trees though. He was just on the road.
Well, he said the thing was a pine cone, so there must have been trees overhead,
Or some other kind of natural debris.
like a limb from a tree.
I don't think a limb did this either.
No, I'm just saying that things like.
I don't think it was a bear. A bear is too big.
Well, your question that you asked, what could cause something like that? So I was naming it. What do I think it is? I think it was probably a fucking raccoon.
You think it was a raccoon?
I don't think it was a Rebob.
You sound like a fucking hater right now.
Listen,
Are you drinking haterade over there? Right
I'm just not rebotted. All right.
now? Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I don't have to do this. Remember which one of my hands is the correct one.
Shut the fuck up. I don't. No, I don't. I absolutely don't. I was gonna say, shut up. Soon after, sightings and the legend of Rebobs spread like wildfire. But the real boom did not occur until the creatures had made an appearance on a famous paranormal TV show. In season 3 of Monsters and Mysteries of America, called Carolina Reptile Man, Succubus, and Napa Rebobs. Those are 3 topics.
Carolina succubus? Hell yeah. Also, sorry about the dog barking. We can't do anything about that. He's upstairs.
He's barking, I think, because we're getting a delivery. Adam Danielski at one point had decided to go see if the rumors of what lurked down Patrick Road were true. And so he decided to go camping with several friends in the woods. The group had arrived early before dark and set up their campsite. The group, not having a tent, decided to roll out some blankets and sleeping bags to call it a night. As the makeshift bedding was finally set up, the group opened their cooler and partook in some alcohol. Adam, being the lookout, was as sober as he could be, and watched as his cohorts were having alcohol and drinking and having fun. The group had gone through most of the cooler when a sharp scream broke the laughter and... Okay, so I will say that a scream could be a mountain lion.
Yeah, totally.
They scream.
Yeah, mountain lions scream.
They sound like a woman, like, screaming. It's fucking terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
I hate it.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I will say that is kind of like, because they described the scream as sounding like a woman in distress. That's classic mountain lion behavior.
Mm-hmm.
So it was kind of starting to get dark out, and the group was figuring out how shifts would go. As they began to get ready for bed, Adam had already picked the first watch, as the others kind of decided and squabbled over who would take second shift. A louder scream rang out from the woods. So...
Oh my! It's Bill. I'm a Rebob.
I don't think that's what it sounded like.
Rebob.
No, I think it just was a mountain lion.
My full name is Rebob McIntyre.
Great. So the group stared out into the general area of the noise. They were terrified, so terrified at that point they decided not to go back to the car, which was something that they would later regret. Hi. Thank you.
God, into the microphone.
Get up here. Get up here fully. If you want to be up here, you get up here like a fucking psychopath. Okay. Yeah, I didn't need those. You're a fucking psycho.
Just pulling your ears out.
Toes. It was in her toes. Hi. Look at us.
Spirit the Turtle has joined the podcast.
She's a more reliable guest than
Than some people.
She shows up. Oh, thank you. Lovely. Right into the mic. So Adam took his post and began to wait out the long night. And slowly, one by one, his friends had started to fall asleep. His eyes weighed heavy, but as he continued his shift, it wasn't long before he too fell asleep. The night seemed to be, quiet. And apparently that was not the case. It was 7 a.m. when the group woke up. The group slowly, one by one, began to get up and roll up the blankets and sleeping bags when one of Adam's friends stepped up, and there were, across his chest, 3 long claw marks.
Oh.
So, the group was like fucking spooked at that point. Ran over, inspected it, questioned it, and then decided that they needed to get out of there. Grabbed their cooler, sleeping arrangements, went to the car, said, "Fuck all that." No thanks.
Yeah, that's almost supernatural in an angle there of like the 3 scratch marks.
Yeah.
See that a lot in like demonic poltergeist hauntings where it's kind of one of those things.
Right. So,
but an encrypted story, kind of weird.
That's kind of weird. She's getting comfy. She's doing her best. So when the group returned home, they had told their family and friends about their brush with the Rebobs. But as with most cases, their relatives and other friends did not believe them. So the group, weeks later, had decided to return to the road to verify that not only to their friends and families, but to themselves, that what happened in the woods really happened and was caused by something unknown. So they drove up the desolate stretch of road. The group silently looked out into the woods, but the only thing that they could see was the road and the dust that was picked up on the wind. And by their car headlights. Slowly, they worked their way up the road, waiting for anything, when suddenly a dark form was illuminated by the headlights in the middle of the road. Adam watched as a humanoid shape jumped out away from the car and in another jump clambered up a nearby tree.
Interesting.
So it was pretty fucking athletic. Could jump real good.
Can jump real good.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, so it jumped away from the car and then in another jump clambered up a tree. Like, that's pretty fucking absurd.
Yeah, it's almost primate nature. What do you think?
Great.
Okay.
Thank you, Spirit. You're adding a lot to the podcast right now. She's just being lovey. So Adam stared in horror as the beast made its way up the tree. It was as he stared into the darkness that he had the thought, if there's one, could there be more? Guess what? The group decided to leave again.
Oh, wow. That's
They
surprising.
did not hang around after that.
You didn't want to hang out with a fucking potentially murderous monster?
No, they did not.
What a bummer.
It's crazy. Girly pop and a half. What are you doing? she's having a moment. I get it. In 1997, 2 17-year-olds, Brian Charrington and Sabrina Monta, decided to follow in the footsteps of many bored Napa Valley teenagers and decided to go to Patrick Road to look for the Rebobs. They had decided to go to the old abandoned Patrick house at the top of the road. It was pitch black when they left, and driving up the winding road, they reached about halfway when they felt the temperature drop. The two froze in their car as bizarre temperature shift seemed to come out of nowhere. The two, however, were continuing up through the black void of the wooded Patrick Road, looking out in the slightly illuminated trees for anything exceptionally off. Come here, you fucking dog. Knock it off. She wants to eat my Crocs. So that's what we're struggling with right now. So the couple eventually made it to the top of the road where they had seen a large wrought iron gate. It loomed over them and gave an eerie foreboding to the pair. However, they ignored their better judgment and proceeded to get out of the car, walking towards the property. Brian had made his way to the gate and was inspecting it to see if he could slip through it. Sabrina was getting the feeling as though she was being watched. And she was, she noticed that the cold encapsulated her and began to express wanting to leave the area. And as if on cue, a peculiar sound emanated from the grounds of the estate like the beating of wings. You just got down.
That sounds like the beating of wings.
Yeah. Spirit sure thought so.
Spirit's like, what the fuck, dude? If fucking excuse me? Look at her.
She's in a mood, apparently. She woke up and said, I'm gonna wreak havoc. Fuck you guys. I'm gonna wreak havoc, but I'm being really nice about it. Go. Get up.
Nice.
Did we catch that on camera?
I think so.
That was so stupid. That was the dumbest move she's, I think, made in a moment. So Brian stopped and listened to the sound that erupted in the area, and Brian stared through the gate, and as the noise seemed to stop, he moved to tell Sabrina to go back to the car. It was in that moment the noise came once more, and the couple's eyes locked on some strange ape-like creature that was peering at them from behind a tree.
What's really interesting to me about this story, at least this section, is the temperature drop. Right. You don't often see that in alien or a lot of cryptid stories. It's not very common. You see them more often in like ghost stories.
Yeah. Of
the temperature drop, and it's usually due to they say due to the magnetic field fluctuating and changing the temperature of the area, and which kind of makes me think that. Well, I have the whole theory about how aliens and ghosts are kind of one and the same, just the same phenomenon, just different ways.
Yeah.
So maybe it's one or the other.
I don't know. It's very weird. So the creature's eyes were bright red and seemed to penetrate the very essence of the two. The couple felt that in that moment, this was not some friendly critter, but something with full intention of making the trespassers its meal. It was a raccoon with flashlights taped to the side of his head. Again,
of course.
As you get, of course. So the pair, obviously fucking petrified, ran.
Yeah.
Back to the car, and then only when they got to the very end of the road did Brian pull off and discuss with Sabrina what they'd seen, and they described the exact same beast.
Interesting.
So they saw the same thing. While the three witnesses on the TV show, or while there were three witnesses on that TV show, only one major witness has kind of come forward to the public about their encounters. As the Rebobs slowly worked their way into other paranormal and cryptozoological websites, others finally would step up and discuss their own. And one such account was found on the Exemplar comment section. The account came from a witness known only as JC.
Jesus Christ.
JC had decided to go to the park with their friends out to Patrick Road on one summer night. The group had gotten the notion traveling up the infamous Patrick Road, but JC was very wary and had actually pleaded to find a different place to hang out. They didn't listen. Surprise. The gang parked out front of the cemetery, and the group did what most kids did on the desolate stretches of road.
Jerk off and then punch each other really hard.
I assume it was like smoking.
Oh. Yeah, totally. That's what I meant too.
So JC was fine at first, but then as time went on, there was just a feeling that they couldn't shake. It was as though somewhere out in the darkness there was something watching the group that felt very predatory. They continued to feel uneasiness when they looked up into the trees surrounding the car. They actually caught sight of something red darting through the trees.
Okay.
So, the glowing orbs suddenly stopped, and they could tell that the red was, in fact, glowing eyes moving in the branches overhead.
Spirit is now on my lap.
So cozy. She hit her head several times. She doesn't know what she wants. To chew her foot. That's what she wants. So obviously they were pretty freaked out by that because the eyes started to become more intense. And a feeling of anxiety crept in as they knew that chances were this creature was on the attack. They wouldn't have to wait long because there was a sudden thump on the back of the car, which made the whole vehicle shake. Their friends laughed, thinking it was a branch or the wind, but JC felt even more unnerved. They looked back to where they had seen the eyes and saw nothing. The tension built in their mind, and they urged their friends to leave the area. Ultimately, their friends had decided to leave, and as they turned the key in the ignition, there was nothing but silence. They couldn't get their car to start.
So a complete power drain of the vehicle then.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I don't fucking know.
Kind of starting to push a little more towards the alien aspect of this.
Isn't that was a thing with Mothman too, wasn't it?
Yeah, I believe so.
I think Cars Not Starting was a Mothman thing.
Mothman hates cars.
He does. So after several tries, the car managed to roar to life, and just as they were about to leave, the shaking was not alone. There was long scraping sounds. They eventually got out. JC was screaming louder, "Go, go, go, fucking faster!" Just keep fucking going, because they were not about it. You're so smart, Spirit. The group drove to JC's house, slowly got out of the car. They were obviously a little spooked because they were like, is this thing still in the fucking car? Is it gonna fucking get us?
JC.
Yeah.
Get out of the car and see if it's still on top.
So they got out. There was nothing there. JC's friend took a flashlight out of the glove box and examined the roof, and there on the roof was 2 large dents as though something jumped down from above, and along the sides of the car were long scratch marks that went down the entire length of the car.
I don't think this was a raccoon.
You're off the raccoon story now?
Yeah, I mean, let me sit back up and get a little too comfortable on this nice cozy couch. Now, I don't think that this, I think the first initial encounter like that we talked about was a raccoon.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay.
It just, the dude just heard a noise. There's scratches on his car. Could be a raccoon. Could be. Right?
Yeah.
Kind of makes sense. Granted, I don't know how wide the scratches were or anything like that, but
I mean, the claw marks themselves were an inch apart. That's bigger than a raccoon's foot.
I don't know.
Yeah. It's like that.
I don't know.
That's a big foot for a raccoon.
I don't know, but it could be something similar to that. With this definitely reminds me a lot of the Mothman story.
It does.
Where it's this temperature drop thing. It's the draining of the battery, the red eyes, and, does this town have a bridge? That's my next question. And should they be watching said bridge?
I don't know. I don't know Napa Valley very well. I know that it's a valley.
Okay.
There's a road called Patrick Road.
Thank you, Tay.
That's about all I got. That's all I know about Napa. I think Napa's wine country. I think.
I don't know, man.
You can tell me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure Napa is wine country. I think. So I mean that's kind of the sightings. I mean they're kind of like in line with the devil monkeys of the Midwest and the South. I mean, those creatures are described as large baboons, about 3 to 4 feet tall in height, and have impressive jumping ability, which some have estimated to be up to 20 feet in length.
Damn.
Yeah. Which, listen, Devil Monkeys, that's a great pop punk band.
That is a fantastic pop punk band.
The creatures are really, really similar to the Napa Rebobs from height. Although, I mean, some have claimed that Rebobs can grow to heights of 7 feet, which is also alleged for devil monkeys. So
maybe one and the same?
Maybe one and the same. I mean, I don't know. They have similar accounts. So there was a sighting in 1959 from Virginia that describes how one had attacked a car, leaving 3 distinct claw marks on a vehicle.
That 3 has got to be significant in some way, because let me fucking get back in position here. When we talk about supernatural behavior,
right?
Like demonic entities, they'll do the 3s, and according to the churches and things like that, it is to mock the Holy Trinity, the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. Now, with this, why would a cryptid effectively be trying to mock the Holy Trinity? Are these cryptids atheists?
I don't know, man. They could be.
What do you think it is? I mean, do you think it's an alien? Do you think it's more of a cryptid? Do you think it's man-made? Do you think it's what? I
mean, it gives me like Bigfoot vibes, in a sense, which would cause me to lean more alien-esque of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it was a creature created by a scientist. I
don't think so either.
In a lab, I think it's something. I just don't know what it is.
I feel like it presents itself more as a Bigfoot style entity, but it's more like Mothman.
Yeah. I mean, Mothman is suspected to also be an alien, isn't he?
Yes, that's correct.
I'm going to lean more alien on this one.
Yeah, I'm going to lean more, kind of more alien, more supernatural, kind of in that kind of realm.
It's pretty fucking weird, whatever it is.
It's weird.
I mean, I wouldn't like to see a 7-foot tall primate with wings.
Nah, dude, that'd be a bummer.
I would not have a good time.
I mean, a zoo. Kind of cool. But not like on the road. That sucks. That ruins your whole, that's a day ruiner.
Dude,
right there.
I have panic attacks going to the fucking grocery store. You think I see a primate with wings, I'm going to be okay?
Yeah, then they're like, as long as you hold out your left hand, and you're like, So is that the end?
That's it. That's all that's really there.
Well, for those listening and watching, you can send us an email or send us a message, HGOPodcast@gmail.com, HGOPodcast, TikTok, and Instagram. Go check those out. Send us, what do you think it is? I think I think I'm kind of leaning more towards the alien kind of aspect of this.
I agree.
But there's another little factor that I'm not really sure about. It's kind of weird.
Very weird.
Yeah.
It's like Mothman meets like Bigfoot meets the devil monkeys.
Totally.
Which is weird on
Yeah.
its own.
But yeah, I don't know. It's weird. You can follow me on Instagram at IHuntTheHaunted, and I'm on Twitch at IHuntTheHaunted, and I'm everywhere at IHuntTheHaunted, and go check that out. Pass it over to Tay.
Hi, you can follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Lunar Thrill. I also have a dog Instagram, which is Spirit the Turf.
Spirit the Turf.
She got up, wrecked some havoc, back to sleep.
Yep.
So,
that's what she does. And yeah, we got some real fun episodes lined up for the next few weeks or so. And if you're watching this and you met us at the Ren Fair that we're going to tomorrow, what's up, homie?
What's up?
What's cracking? But yeah, we got some real fun stuff planned. We got some fun new show and stuff that we're gonna be kind of working on. You'll see when it happens, but it'll be around when it's round.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So remember to stay spooky,
Stay haunted.
and fuck you, Jesse Calhoun, you fucking prick. I hope you get stabbed in the face like Robert Pickton and live. And then get stabbed again by the same guy. And then die. In that order.
I mean, I'm not gonna disagree.
Maybe it's Bigfoot with flashlights taped to the side of its head.
Why would Bigfoot do that?
It's fucking dark.
Yeah, but like they're supposed to be able to like see in the dark.
Bigfoot has night vision?
Yeah.
Get that man drafted immediately. Bye.
Bye.